Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki LaRose, and today I want to show you my top 5 eyeshadow brushes that I can't live without. So the first brush I have that's an essential for me is a MAC 242 brush. I've had this since I started doing makeup. It's held up so well. And this is great for cream applications. I'm going to show you how I use it to carve out my brow and also to apply an eyeshadow base. So as you can see, I have concealer on this brush, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it to clean up my brow and also use this to prime my eyes for my eyeshadow. So I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to lay it flat and I'm going to drag it directly across underneath my brow. And since I'll be using this as my eyeshadow base instead of an eyeshadow primer, which I do a lot of the time, I'm going to take the remaining amount on my brush. I'm going to start to just pat it in and drag it further down my eyelid. So now that's applied, I'm just gonna take my fingertip and blend out the edges. On to my second brush. This one is a really large, fluffy crease brush. I love this brush so much. It has not left my kit since I bought it. It's super inexpensive. It's a Morphe M533 blending brush. So this is a brush that I grabbed to apply my first transitional color in the crease. And since it's so large and fluffy, it just does a great job of doing all the work for you. You don't have to spend the time like blending back and forth. It just really gets in there and gets the job done fast. So I love it for that. So you can see I'm using this for my first eyeshadow color, which is a really soft, neutral, transitional color. So my third brush is one of my absolute favorites, and I think it will be for a really long time. It's the ZOEVA 228 Luxe Crease Brush. Sadly, but not so sadly, this has replaced my MAC 217 brush because it's just so soft and well made. Like the quality of these brushes is amazing and the price point is really good too. So you can see this one is a lot smaller than that first blending brush we used, and this one's gonna be great for blending colors into the crease and adding more depth. So I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna dip into a slightly darker shade than the first one we used, and I'm gonna blend that into my crease. And you can see this brush makes it so easy to blend in the crease. By going back and forth with a windshield wiper motion, it really does all the blending for you and makes your eyeshadow look so flawless. Moving on to brush number 4, this is a MAC 239 brush. If you're a fan of makeup or if you're a makeup artist, you'll definitely recognize this brush. I've had this since I started doing makeup, and for good reason. It has so many great purposes, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways to use it. So you can see the way I'm using this brush is I'm taking that eyeshadow and I'm really packing it on my eyelid and pressing it down. And so in this case, I'm using it all over my eyelid, not into my crease, just on the eyelid. So taking that same 239 brush from MAC, I'm going to dip into a slightly darker shadow like the one we did in our crease. And I'm going to show you how to use this to shade your bottom lash line. So you can see by just using the tip of that eyeshadow brush, it fits perfectly on your bottom lash line and makes blending so easy. Okay, so moving on to my fifth and final brush that I cannot live without. This is a ZOEVA 226 Smudger brush. You've probably seen me use this in a couple tutorials. It's one of my favorites. I really cannot live without this brush. It's the ultimate smudger brush, and I'm going to show you exactly how I use it. So just like all my other brushes, my fifth brush is definitely a multi-purpose brush. I mainly use this to smudge out my eyeliners and my eye pencils and to apply a shadow along my lash line, but I also will use this to apply a highlighter in my tear duct and along my brow bone. So it's a great multi-purpose brush. And this company, they actually were kind enough to send me a whole bunch of brushes a couple years ago, and ever since I have been hooked on these brushes, and they've actually replaced a lot of my other brushes that I've had for years because the quality is so good. So first, I'm gonna grab an eye pencil. This is just a black kohl eyeliner, and I'm gonna trace this along my lash line, and then I'm gonna grab that brush and show you how to blend out that product. So grabbing that smudger brush, I'm going to take that and I'm going to smudge out that black eyeliner that I just applied. So you can see I'm taking that brush and I'm using it in a very firm motion. I'm really pressing it into my eyeliner and then blending it out. Going back to my brush. And I really love this brush because since it is more firm, I maintain control over my eyeliner or my eyeshadow. So when I'm smudging out my eyeliners, it's not going all over the place. It's keeping it nice and controlled. But it also, since it has a little bit of fluffiness to it, it's diffusing the line so it's a little bit softer as well. So taking that same brush, I'm gonna dip into a dark brown and a black shadow, and I'm gonna use this to set my pencil that we smudged out. So that's the reason why I love this smudger brush. It's so great for smudging out pencil liners, even gel liners, and then immediately you can go in with a powder shadow and smudge that on top, and it just works so well. So I'm gonna go back to that very first brush, the MAC 242 brush that we used to apply the concealer under the brow and on the eyelid, and whatever's left over on that brush, which is a tiny bit, I'm gonna take that leftover concealer and just really lightly clean up the shape that I just created with my smudger brush. And then going back one more time to my 226 smudger brush, I dipped it into a dark brown shadow, and I'm really just tucking it into my bottom lashes to create more depth and a little bit more drama. Like I mentioned earlier, I use this to sometimes highlight my tear duct and my brow bone, so let me show you how I do that. So that was it. Those are my top 5 favorite eyeshadow brushes that I personally cannot live without. The great thing about these brushes is they're all different price points. Some are really inexpensive. They're from 3 different brands, which I'll list all of them and the prices in the description box for you. I love these brushes. I think they're so great for everyone, whether you're a pro makeup artist or you're just starting out trying to figure out how to do eyeshadow. They do all the blending for you, and I really think that having the right tools is half the battle. The MAC brushes, for example, you'll notice are a higher price point, but I will say I've had those brushes for well over a decade, and I've put them through the ringer and they've held up so well, so you do get what you pay for. So I had so much fun showing you guys my must-have eyeshadow brushes that I cannot live without. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I will see you next time. Bye.